we are going to look at the R Markdown file that is in your tutorial script. So I'll click Open File here. I'll go over to the R Markdown basic script.rmd file. So that's an R Markdown file, and I'll open it. And there we have the script. And now you notice that the script, as I scroll down the script, you'll see that there are parts that are gray and parts that are white. The parts that are white are, we're going to call them text chunks. So a chunk of text. So there are text chunks. The hashtags in the text chunks control the size of the text when it's knitted to make the report. I'm presuming you've read the chapter in the guide to R. So these are all the text chunks that we have. And then we have gray parts, which are the code chunks. So the gray parts are the code chunks, the white parts are the text chunks. At the top, we have the YAML, Y-A-M-L, or something like that. The YAML. Never touch the YAML. Don't just leave it alone. You can obviously change the name or put a title if you like, but try not to touch it because it's very sensitive. And if you put like a space here, something like that, accidentally, then the file might not knit. So it's very sensitive to the exact specification there, this YAML, the YAML. So whenever you're editing a Markdown file, you'll always be starting with the code chunks and the text. So notice that the code chunk is always defined by 3 backticks, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So 3 at the top and 3 at the bottom. The top, beginning of the code chunk, then includes a set of options. The first option might be a name for the code chunk, and then a variety of other options, like typically include equals false and echo equals false. And you'll mostly be copying and pasting these options. You won't need to really know much more than that. So our first code chunk is called and we have this letter R here at the beginning, right? So the first code chunk is just loading in our packages like we did in our regular R script. Notice down here in the bottom right corner, there's a toggle menu. We could switch to our script mode or our Markdown mode. We're in our Markdown mode. We're just going to stay in our Markdown mode for now. You can experiment or read a little bit more about that if you like. So our first code chunk loads the packages. Our second code chunk, we're just calling it set.wd. It's setting the working directory to the data folder. You did in the lab this week, you had your own working directory to your folder on your computer. So you want to copy and paste that here. You already have that in our script file, so you want to just copy just that one line and paste that here, and obviously replace mine. So you want to delete mine and put your own there. Then we have some text, and the text is actually meta text. It's explaining itself. Then we have the code that we saw in the tutorial scripts in the lab this week to get the California schools data set. And then we do a table of descriptive statistics for the California schools data set. I usually have that twice here. Then we have this is the scatter plot of the California schools data set. Another scatter plot. I think I was just showing you how it worked. Let's change it and maybe have this one be shape equals 2 and color equals red, so it'll just look a little different. And that's all we have here. So I'm going to save this file, save as, and I'll call it MK. So I save it. So now notice how it turns to black. And now I'm going to knit it. So I'm just going to click on this knit button and you're going to see what happens. So it's slowly knitting. And we'll see some messages appear. It can take a little while for it to knit. And still going, patient, and there we go. Here's our report. So I didn't really change the title, right? So the title stayed the same. And here's the first text. Here's the descriptive statistics. Here's the second descriptive statistics. And the text here explains some commands, why this table. Now I remember why I had two tables. I wanted to show you how to get rid of the hashtags. And then there's our plots, and then there was our other plot, right, in red that we changed. And this is our report. Notice here, it's a HTML report. So you can open this in any browser. I'm going to close it, and I'm going to go over to my folder and go over to my files 42 folder where I have this stuff. And in the data folder, no, sorry, yeah, that's the data folders that no, in this case, what did I do for the set working directory? Let's go back to here. I set the working directory to be files 42 data. But actually it's going to, I'm just thinking about where it's going to put the HTML thing. It's going to put it in the same place where the script was. So other things are stored there, but the knitted HTML script is stored in the same tutorial script wherever I open the script in. And so there's the HTML file. I'm going to open this with a browser. So I'll open it with, maybe I can open it with Google Chrome somewhere. Yeah, Google Chrome. And there we have the same file. So that's what you can just upload to Camino once you've been able to knit the file.